This is a Mohawk flight we took with a life photographer on board to take movies of our aircraft in flight while I was stationed at Bryan Army Airfield at Fort Richardson, Alaska. These pretty white Mohawks with our nice popsicle orange flight suits making for a colorful flight. The photographer was actually a stringer photographer out of Ketchikan that come up and was taking some pictures for Life magazine. And so we took him on a flight, flew around Mount Mikinley airfield, or Mount Mikinley mountain. And here we are getting ready with our run-ups and getting ready to do the instrument checks and our elevator and area checks, and getting ready to taxi out. This is the other aircraft, which is a C model, and there's a Specialist Riser, which was our crew chief there launching both airplanes. Here they are getting ready to taxi and go out and do our run-up at the end of the airstrip. We were number 2, and my pilot, Major Pratt, and myself, Stan Bloom, the TO, we're getting ready to taxi out now. Again, here's Riser, our crew chief, going through the checks of the instruments and the area, and he says, "Hey, you're ready to go." Here we are taxiing out. This is going down the taxiway right in front of where they're building our new hangar. And this is the other aircraft doing his run up here along the side of the taxiway. We pulled in beside him and did the run up on our. He's pulling into the number 2 position, and then we'll pull right in front of him there and be number 1 for takeoff. Here's our takeoff roll, going down through the airstrip, gaining our airspeed and getting up there where he can pull it off the strip and take off a nice smooth takeoff. Here he is back to our right rear, and he's taking pictures of us as we're flying in front of him. The sun's shining off the plexiglass windows, which makes it kind of foggy looking, but it is a good shot of the Mohawk. Here's me trying to take pictures of myself with the camera held at arm's length. Here's our engine starting on the right side of the aircraft. Here he is slowly catching up with us and pulling up beside of us with his aircraft. We've taken pictures of him on this side because they can't, the observer's on the other side with his camera. He can't take pictures of us yet until he gets on the other side of our aircraft. So this is just playing around, flying out to the target areas, and with the mountains in the background with the white snow on there. That's the Chugach Mountains, which is just west of Anchorage. There he is. I was trying to get a close-up of the cockpit, but it's kind of dark in there, and you can't really see much of those guys in there from this view. Once again, here he is flying up a little higher than us and off to our right. Now he's going behind our engine and it's going to get behind us. Here's a sight of him in the rearview mirror. This is not what you would want to see if you were in a dogfight with another aircraft. This would be at your 6 o'clock position, and he'd be ready to shoot you down. Here we are going across the tundra at low speed, low altitude, and we're coming into the Lake Louise area. Here we are coming up close to the lake now, and still flying low level. You can see the lake in the background there, and that's a beautiful shot of the Hawk flying real low level. We're flying at treetop level, trying to get some good pictures for our movie here. Flying across the lake. Lake Louise is a big lake that freezes in the wintertime, and you can drive out there and go ice fishing during the winter while the ice is real thick. The ice gets about 2 foot thick out in the middle of that lake, so you can drive a big truck out there on it. Here again is the cockpit, of them flying lower than us and us above them. You can see the orange flight suits in there, and that's in case you have to eject, and for search and rescue you can see your little popsicle flight suit down on the ground. This is flying on the west portion of Lake Louise, still down low, taking some good pictures of the Mohawk. Mohawk's a beautiful aircraft in flight. There's a joke about those 3 tails is the reason why a pilot can't handle, an old pilot can't handle a Mohawk, because he can't handle 3 pieces of tail that close together. Here we are flying up the Susitna River Valley, and you can see the shadows of the 2 aircraft flying in formation. Here's a picture of me and the pilot. I was trying to take a picture with that arm's length with my camera. Here he is flying underneath us again from the right side, crossing underneath. This is the view of Mount Mikinley from the south side of the mountain. Well, flying out there, you get a really beautiful shot of the south peak, which is the highest in the state, which is I think 20,230 feet up to the top of that mountain. Here's the Mohawk flying on the way back towards Fort Richardson, and we're about to wrap it up here and flying across Fort Richardson, heading for the Bryan Army Airfield. And after landing here, we taxi back to the parking lot, and there's our new hangar they're building for us over there on the right. And then this is where I went down to the end of the airstrip to take some pictures of him landing and also making a low pass. He flew over us real fast and low, and then came around, dropped his gear, and landed. Here he comes on his low pass. This is what it would look like if you were being strafed by a Mohawk when they were armed over in Vietnam. And he goes around the pattern and drops his gear, comes in for a landing on the airstrip at Bryan Army Airfield. You can see the mountains in the background. He greased it on and goes down to the other end and turns around, and that's the end of this flight.